I'm happy to say that after my 3-month test with the Speediance Gym Monster, my strength numbers have improved quite a bit in that amount of time. Even after using it 6 months prior to that, I just focused on only using the Speediance and I was able to get some good results. Now, I did use my own custom plan with the Speediance Gym Monster, as you can put your own templates into the machine. So do know I am using the one that's actually over at GamerBody.com as of shooting this video, if you'd like to go ahead and get that one now and try it out for yourself. And before moving on, I did get the Speediance Gym Monster directly from Speediance themselves. They did reach out to me, sent me a review version of the item back in April of 2023 that I've been using for quite some time, and it wasn't until October I decided to just only use that product for my home workouts to see what it can do. However, after this video, if you feel like you want to go ahead and make a purchase of your own, you can save $120 by using code GamerBody at the Speediance checkout. And please note that any of your purchases using that code will provide a small commission back to GamerBody to continue making videos like this one. Now, I will link to a few reviews of the Speediance Gym Monster that I made in the past, but it really breaks down to a simple, minimalist home gym system that uses electromagnetic resistance to provide tension against your muscles depending on the exercise you are trying to do. And one big pro for this item is that it does have vertical bars, allowing you to do things like pull downs that you might not be able to do with other items that only have the base platform. And not only that, but this machine can provide up to 220 pounds of resistance. Yes, this does feel quite a bit harder than using free weights, as the tension is constant. I can't use momentum or anything to cheat my reps. It's always constant against the muscles through your range of motion. So it does feel a bit harder. So you will actually see that in some of the numbers I provide, as I can lift much more than that with free weights. But do know it is 220 pounds. I hope they can come out with ones that can produce even more into the future. But enough about the item itself. Let's take a look at my 3-month test and the results that I got. All right, so on screen are my assessments that I've ran since buying the device, doing one in October, and now one on January 1st of 2024. So you can actually see the difference in my progression in that time by looking at this spreadsheet. Now, I went ahead and highlighted in green the October to January assessment information so that you can actually focus on that, as I don't really care about the April right now. But looking at this, I did make some pretty big jumps. Actually, everything except for the ones that had already been maxed out went up quite a bit. The overall biggest improvement in terms of percentage change is in my arms. Now, the assessment is only bicep curls. They don't have any kind of triceps. So that's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yay, I was able to get stronger with my bicep curls. Cool. But the big ones I really like are being able to move the chest and back ones up closer and closer to maxing the device itself. The lower body on this is the one thing where I'm actually able to max it pretty easily, especially if you look at some of my past numbers. It's jumped up quite a bit. I think most of this was just learning the skill of the movement while using the machine. And then once I was able to do that and get some neurological efficiency, I was able to then produce more force in each one of the assessment lists to max out both the legs and hips that are on this right now. So you will see both of those are currently maxed as of right now. So I need a device that actually goes higher or slow down my reps or whatever it might be in order to actually tax my lower body enough when doing things like squats and Romanian deadlifts. But again, I'm very happy when it comes to my chest and shoulder progression. Now, I'm someone who was able to bench 250 pounds back in the day when I went to gyms. I can pretty much easily do 185, but you'll see that back in October, I couldn't even hit the 185, I was hitting 174. But again, it is a lot harder with these machines to actually push that amount of resistance. So you'll see I went from 174 to 196 with the chest, which is a change of 22 pounds or a 12.64% increase. Also, my shoulders made a big jump. I'm really happy with that. They got a nice 16.4 pound change, which is about 15%, and then the back got a nice 14.97% change as well. Now you'll see on the far right, I actually put what this compares to the other Speediance members on the platform who've run this assessment, and you'll see that all of them are in the 90s, with the lowest one being in the top 96.1% of all users. Now, of course, not everyone in the world uses this. A lot of people who are stronger than me don't use this. I thought it was just interesting that I was able to get pretty close to the 99th to 100 percentile with almost all of the exercises in the assessment. But moving on from there, I'm going to go over some of my other numbers in terms of measurements, weight, and all that stuff. Now, over the holiday season, so November to December, are your Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday seasons. And this means I'm probably going to be eating a lot. So I did actually put on a bit of weight, probably some fat, hopefully some muscle as well, as I did go up in my strength lifts. But do know I did put on 2 pounds, going from 194.2 to 196.8. So really 2.6 pounds of, we'll say, body fat in this case. I really don't care, but I wasn't really aiming to cut hard in this. Is more to see what I could do strength-wise during that time. So not a humongous difference. I'm surprised I actually didn't put on more because I did eat quite a lot and a lot of being junk, but do know I did gain about 2 pounds in that time. Now I did use the Renfo scale to track all this, as well as the Renfo tape measure in order to take these measurements, which I will link to in the description. But other than that, I did turn 23 in October, so you'll see I went from 32 years old to 33 years old, and then I did go from a body fat percentage of 15.3 according to the Renfo scale to 15.6. So again, not huge changes here or anything. It was the holiday season. I'm kind of surprised I didn't put on more like 5 to 10 pounds, but I'm kind of glad I stayed where I was. So hopefully a lot of that's muscle, and as we go more into the spring and summer months, I'm able to shed that off a bit to show more of what I gained during my little test here. And one thing I also added is highlighted on your screen now, and this is all my body measurements and the change from October to January 2024. So do know that this is probably not going to change too much in just 3 months. You really need like 6 months to a year to get kind of bigger increases. And since I've been using the Gym Monster for quite a bit of time, you're probably not going to see a lot there. It's more in the strength increases you'll see, but I did actually change a little bit in each one of these, so I'm going to go over them as well. And before we begin, if you head over to GamerBody.com, you can get this spreadsheet that has this Spot A stats calculator already built for you. All you have to do is fill in these top 3 here and actually fill in all the rest for you on what your golden ratio numbers are. So this is basically looking at the Greek golden ratio numbers for males. I think I did make a female one as well, but I really just focus on the male ones. So I can fill in these top 3 numbers and it will fill in what these other numbers should be for you. Then you're trying to match those numbers as best you can to reach those goals if you're like me and trying to do that. But otherwise, outside of that, you'll see that I did increase on just about all these. So these are all in inches. All the measurements are in inches. So you'll see that I went up 0.08 inches here, 0.06, 0.08, 0.2 with the calves, which is nice. Chest at 0.28. The only ones that actually went down, which are in red here, are my forearms. So both my forearms decreased just a little bit, but they're actually over what my goal was, except for, I guess, the left one. So it's pretty close to being on par. So I'm really not going to change anything there. But you'll see that all the other things actually improve. So that's really cool to see. So I hope that they all go still in the right direction. The waist ones you obviously want to shrink, but still, it's really cool to see that all these actually went in the direction they should over those months. But yeah, I'm actually very happy with how the Speediance was able to improve my workouts and my strength in that 3-month period. Now I am going to actually bump over to resistance bands moving forward to kind of see, can I keep the gains I gained from the 3 months in another 3-month test with just my band setup? Or can I even get more gains? Who knows? Maybe I get more gains with the bands going forward. So it is a test I'm going to run, see how it goes. I'm going to keep the Speediance behind me for right now to see if I'm going to go back to it in the future, which I probably will at some point, as it's good to just have a little bit of variety in the equipment you use, just to kind of shake things up every once in a while. I still personally do the same exercises, just sometimes I like to use different equipment just to get things nice and fresh and different every, I'd say, 6-ish months or so. So that about wraps things up for my 3-month test. I am, again, very happy with the results and hope things continue to move forward. Now, if you want, again, my exact workout program I ran this, feel free to jump over to GamerBody.com. You can download it for free there and basically follow along with it as long as you'd like to in order to get some good results. Now, I am going to put some videos on screen here. One is the review of the Speediance Gym Monster, and another one that's actually the program using resistance bands. But again, you can mimic all the movements with a Gym Monster, dumbbells, whatever you're using. If you want to go ahead and kind of figure out how I actually think about and do my workout program throughout each week. But that's about it. Make sure you check them out and see what results you can get in time.